Hi there, we're back again as Born for Victory. It's indeed another awesome, phenomenal, fantastic day. And I'm just so excited. Being with you guys, it's the most wonderful thing that ever happened to me, truly and sincerely. I'm back with my lovely sister here. She's like my younger sister, Matuna from South Africa. You remember she was with us last week. Girl, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Great, super. You're looking exquisite.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're glowing. You've got this glow today, like you in love or something. Are you?
I hope so.
Why not?
Excuse me?
Why not?
I mean, why not? Anyways, yeah, you're right.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Thank you. Thank you for having me here again. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
so honored.
Me
I'm
too.
so
Thank you so
honored.
much. Thank you. Thank you.
So, guys, we would like to talk about reconnecting, rediscovering your authentic self. I have heard a video on this subject, but I guess I was just alone. So today it would be lovely to break it down with her, get her version of what it means to reconnect, to your authentic self. And we can learn a lot from each other. Hence, I don't mind touching base on this topic again. Have you felt angry for nothing? Anxious? Feeling like you're carrying the world on your shoulders? Feeling empty? Just feeling out of place?
Most of the time, actually.
Are you
Most of the
kidding
time.
me?
Yeah, I'm a very positive, bubbly, happy person, talkative. I can talk to anyone, get along with anyone, but there are times where I get super angry. When I'm with people, I don't let it trigger me. I don't really get triggered, but when I'm alone and I'm in my thoughts, I tend to get very angry. I tend to get very anxious. I tend to feel empty. I tend to feel very, just the total opposite of, what I put myself out there as with other people sometimes. So, yeah.
Does it make you feel like you have two personalities?
Yeah, it kind of does, but I don't really see it. I choose not to see it as like a split personality thing. I just choose to see it as being human. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be anxious, to be sad, to be happy, and the reasons we feel these kind of emotions is because there are triggers to it. Maybe it's because of our past. Maybe it's because someone said something that really triggered you in a way that offended you or made you sad or made you happy. I just think it's being human. I don't think it's having split personalities. I just think that
Yeah,
it's part
I
of who we
didn't
are.
mean like you having split personality, but I was saying you feel like when you are with people, you're in good space, and when you're by yourself, you feel like sometimes these emotions from, as you said, they're triggered by the past hurts and past experiences, and now they manifest.
Yes, yes.
And I suppose this is time when you should pay attention to them.
Yes.
And I'm not saying you should torment yourself,
Yeah.
by engaging so much and so long on them. But
Yeah.
I think you should give them that moment, analyze them, and see what could have been the cause, especially at that moment,
Yeah.
and visit the root cause of when you started feeling like this.
True.
And I think in this, that's where we can establish wisdom. This is where wisdom is birthed.
Yes.
Because you don't need to be in denial about how you're feeling.
Yes, yes, yes.
As you said, it's part of who we are.
Yes,
We have our dark side and our light side. But at times we didn't think like this. We thought we only have to be the bright sunshine,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
So you think you could take these emotions and channel them properly into the wisdom that you, as I say, with Born for Victory, I bring all my life stories, my pathetic childhood stories, and say, this is what I went through, and I tackled this challenge this way, and this is how I healed from this place, and I'm still healing from this place.
Yes.
Because being angry, it's emotions within us. But
Yeah.
the only challenge is when we're angry and not acknowledge it,
Yeah.
or overwhelmed and
Yeah,
not
of course,
acknowledge
of
it, or
course.
try to,
Just suppress it.
suppress
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it becomes very hard in a sense when you don't have the knowledge of
What's
where
going
it's
on
what's going
with
on, where
you?
it comes from. Sometimes you feel like you're going crazy. Sometimes you feel like, okay, why am I feeling this way, without even like finding the root of the problem, because you're just putting your emotions over your mind, and it happens a lot. But if we could, well, if I could, like, actually, like you said, find the root causes and stuff like that, engage in certain activities whereby I could do these kind of things. But like, what do you say is like, what is the first step into finding the root of?
The first step, you should acknowledge that emotion. Secondly, you have to visit where it was birthed, its root cause. And thirdly, because you've acknowledged it, you're aware of what caused it, you can now know, when you come to that place again in the future, how to work with yourself,
Yeah, true.
with it. Because you can turn the anger into the happiness. So everything that is negative, we can bring it into the positive side. This is how my healing has gone, since the past 2 decades. I have really worked on myself.
Nice.
I did lots of inner work because I struggled with things like being overwhelmed, being confused. And I don't want to go more into all these clinical, psychological, psychiatric terms, because I believe in God, in the source. So I believe that these things that happened for me in my childhood were part of the mission and the journey I was to take, the journey I'm on right now as we speak. Because should I have grown differently, I wouldn't be sitting here chatting with you about A, B, C, and D.
True.
So, as my favorite book says, all things worketh for good.
Yeah.
I'm glad these things happen for me, for all of us, for the benefit of all humanity. So this is where I came to a place of starting to live a selfless life. Not that I, disregarded myself. I had to bring balance to everything. So it's a massive topic, but I want us to touch on reconnecting with your authentic self. So what can you tell us, Matuna, in terms of when you were feeling like that, or when you feel like that, how do you reconnect back to your authentic self and function as you meant to?
Back to, like, I try to also tap into my positive side of my personality, who I am. I try to, like, not forget who I am. I try not to forget that I'm a positive person. I also love to engage in activities that I'm passionate about, that I love,
Cool.
such as drawing,
Nice.
photography, acting, going out with my friends.
Excuse me.
I love being around people, especially like real people.
Yeah.
Because they give me knowledge, and they give me. You don't even have to give me knowledge and advice. You just have to be there.
Yeah.
You just have to be there. We just have to laugh. We just have to have a
Yeah.
good time, and You know, I feed off of that without emotionally draining them as well. I try
Yeah.
not to, hence why I distance myself when I'm in a bad space. But, you know, I really try to put myself out there, do activities, write in a journal. Journaling is very important. I'm
Super.
sure you would know that, you know.
On my past video,
Yes,
I mentioned journaling.
yes, you
Yeah.
know, journaling really helps.
Yes.
Prayer really, really does something to me as a Christian.
Yeah.
Because I can have a conversation with God and I can have revelations about like how I can manage this and why I'm feeling this way. Because sometimes we
Fantastic.
don't understand why we're feeling what we're feeling, like we mentioned before. And sometimes we need to vent to God. Sometimes we need to just like kneel down and be like, God, I'm mad at you. Why is this happening to me? You know, talk to him like you're having, like he's your father. And eventually things happen. And those are the various ways I deal with it. It's also in the mind, because I could be doing all of these things and not have the mentality that I'm going to be okay. And I have actually had that moment where I had the mentality that I'm going to do something, but I'm still going to hold a grudge. I'm still going to be mad. And it doesn't work out. So it's also all in the mind
So you
as
have to
well.
bring your mind to
Exactly,
subjection. It
exactly,
shouldn't control you.
exactly,
You should
exactly,
control your mind.
exactly.
Tell it you are in charge.
Yes, 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 yes.
Guys, when we live off our higher self, as other people say, or our spirit man, our inner man, disconnection can be fixed,
Yes.
because today's life, people are living through 3D, carnal life. I want to get married, I want to do a course, I'm going shopping and this, and they neglect their spirit man. What causes you to disconnect? This is it. You forgot your spirit man, which is the priority, because we did not make ourselves. Of course, some people out there believe in science. I believe in God, the universe, whatever you call it. We didn't create ourselves, hence we cannot manage living without the source.
Yeah.
So the disconnection is coming from just living as a person, my husband, my child, my dog, my cat, my career, and you neglect the very core of your being, your spiritual being. This is where everything must be sourced from. And if you neglect it, all this anger and anxiety, all the terms, depression, suppression, oppression, stress.
Yeah.
So my journey, I sat down and looked deeply into myself. And I didn't want to come up with some massive, big dictionary word diagnosing myself and say I'm clinically this. No, as I said, I believe in the source, and I know when I sit down and introspect, I will definitely get the answers, because
Yeah.
as I always say to you, our viewers, all the answers, whether it be physical, emotional, spiritual, financial, social, all the answers are within you. The moment you start looking outwardly, you come out of alignment.
Yeah, that's true. So when was it like at which point in your life did you feel like you were able to channel your emotions and your feelings accordingly? When was when was the time that you actually learned that this is something that I could actually do and practice without thinking about it?
Wow. It's a very profound question, and I love it. It took the passing of my mother to stand still. Some of us, the universe has to do it this way. And I didn't feel like I could go on. As I said, I ran off to London because I felt so overwhelmed. And I could not put a finger what was all this. I mean, I was overwhelmed. I was overly anxious all the time. I had rage, you know? Rage. Somebody would say something basic and I would turn the whole tissue into an issue. So I started my journey in 2009. I started to sit down and say, what is going on, Jacqueline? I didn't go out to anybody. I remember my Jewish friend, Lorna Axelrod, the family that my mom used to work for. She said to me, Jacqueline, she calls me Jax. Jax, you need to go and see somebody. You know? And at the back of my mind, I said no, because I didn't want to be put on all this medication and stuff like that. So when I got to London, the best thing I did for myself, I got a job with children. Nice. Remember, their soul is pure.
Yeah.
And working with them was not stressful. And good thing is, I love children. I love children dearly. So as I'm taking time off and walking in the woods, you know, by this riverside, by the seaside, introspection started. And I asked myself some questions. How are you feeling now? Why did you feel like that yesterday? What do you think could be the cause? And as I'm doing all this work, looking deeply within myself, because I was so tired of blaming the past, the childhood, my mother, this or that. I was ready for work. And guess what? When you're ready for work, the universe is at your doorstep. God is there. He will come and, you know, help you through this journey. So I begin to analyze everything one by one. I begin to start from the anger, the blame, and everything. And before I know it, I was smiling again, really smiling. I was reconnecting with people. You know, sometimes I used to feel like people don't like me. When I was a model, sometimes I would walk into a casting packed full of girls. If you know how these castings can be full of beautiful, tall girls. And I had this insecurity that I'm so gorgeous, if only I was taller. And I struggled with people pleasing. So I had to name all these challenges that I was facing with myself. And I realized that all I need is self-acceptance.
Yeah.
This is my first step of reconnecting. I had to self-accept. And self-accepting led to self-love, coming back to self-worth. I knew my worth. There's a purpose and reason why I'm this height. Why do I want to be like Joelle? You know, Joelle was so beautiful, a girl from Congo. She was one of the best models in my times, you know, in South Africa. We did very well with Joelle. So I had to work on these things. No therapies, just me and the universe.
Well, it's sorry to cut you off, but
No
it's
props.
not an easy process to get to that, because for a situation like yours, people could have easily gone the other direction. So what kept you grounded from going the dark route, from going to the route of self-destruction?
I am the child of the universe. I'm a destiny child.
Yes.
I am loved. Today I can sit here and tell you about the love. I am loved. I am so loved that I didn't think of drugs, this or that, because I'm loved. My spirit guides, they saw I was ready and I was determined to come back. So the assistance came and it came at the right time.
Yeah.
I was willing and I was available, and I got into this path with determination, resilience, and not looking back anymore.
Yeah.
If you
Wow,
can
that's
do
very
that, if you can
inspiring.
do that, everybody can win.
Yeah, I think as human beings, it's pretty hard to be determined. It's pretty hard to be resilient until you try it, because the thought of it is very hard, but actually when you like jump into it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is something that I could do. So like, what can you tell like your viewers or anybody for like for those people who really can't see anything beyond, what they're going through? Like, what can you tell me and the audience?
I knew what I was struggling with: blame games, people pleasing, validation, low self esteem, no confidence, just giving my power to a strange, silly man. And on the journey to destruction, my angel met me halfway and say, you could carry on, girl, and finish yourself off, or we could start a fresh slate and heal.
Amen.
So I took the option of healing. I was ready to live. I love life. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
love
life is
life. Because the other route, I knew that we're from South Africa. There are people, I'm sorry to open up the wounds of the families that know these people. Who are these people's friends? People like Brenda Fossey, people like Lebo Matosa, great, amazing artists. But that
Legends.
path, the Bible says, there's a way that seemeth right to a man, but the end thereof is destruction. You understand? If you see destruction, you can perceive it. You can discern destruction. That's where I say my angel met me on my way to destruction. He say, Jacqueline, you can carry on. You're 10 minutes away from dying, or we are 2 hours away from living.
Oh man.
So I chose the 2 hours backward. So you can do it. You can do it. You don't have to die. You don't have to perish. And reconnecting, you feel alive. You feel alive. And I didn't start wow big. As I say, one day at a time, step by step. I went to a flower shop, bought myself some flowers, and I put them there. And I said, oh, my flowers are lovely. Smell my flowers. Self-loving, self-accepting. Okay, I'm short. Okay, I'm still a gorgeous girl. I don't have to be perfect. What my stepdad and my mom was emphasizing that caused me to walk this path of perfectionism, now that I'm an adult, I see it was not right. They did their part, but today I can judge as an adult that this was not the right thing. So I'm doing the right thing for myself. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. Your mother is a vessel. My mother was a vessel. You understand? At the end of the day, you have your life to live. And you have to live your life to the best of the ability, the grace that the universe gives you. And all of us, we have choices. People say, oh, but Jacqueline, I didn't have a choice. Everybody has a choice. This self-loving, I had to start reparenting myself. You understand? I'm not saying my parents weren't good enough. I'm not saying your mom weren't good enough. I'm just saying we can start on a clean slate with a way that is right.
Of course.
Not everybody must agree with our way because we are unique.
Of course.
It's not going to be the same for everybody. You understand? It's going to be different because we are unique. But if this is how it worked for me, I'm just sharing this. Somebody can say, no, this is my way.
Yeah.
And this is the lovely thing about it, that we can all learn from each other. So back to you. You're still on a journey, I believe.
Yeah.
You're still a little bit lower.
Yes.
What do you think can hinder you from living your authentic self at this point in your life?
I think it's codependency. I'm not talking about physically, financially. I'm talking about when it comes to, friendship wise or family wise or anybody you're with, we all have different ideas. We all have different opinions about things. We all have different beliefs about things. And when you're in a circle, when you're in a certain circle and you guys have different opinions and different things, at some point, I start to question myself whether the way I like what I am. Sorry, my English is leaving me. But I start to question myself, like whether or not my way is the right way, and is it my way? Am I making sense? I don't know if I'm making sense, but I tend to lose my sense of self when I listen to every little single thing and apply every little single thing that other people are saying and other people are thinking. I'm easily influenced,
I understand
Yeah,
you.
so I think those are one of the things that hinder me is sort of internalizing and applying other people's ideas into my life, thinking that it's for me, you know. But at the same time, it's not a wrong thing because you're
Not at
experimenting.
all. Yeah.
You're experimenting because
Yeah.
your soul knows, okay, this is not cool for me, this is cool for me.
Yeah.
But it really does take you two steps back, and it really does make you start over and start on a clean slate. And sometimes you just want to level up. So I think I've been leveling down a lot on that. But at the same time,
Okay.
I think it tells you, okay, be angry about this, feel this way about that, feel that way about that, fight when someone says the N word by accident. It's yeah, it's social media and people's different ideas and the lack of how do I say this, when you don't have like your own sense of placement in the world, it's easy for you to be easily swayed and easily mold your own character
Kind of what I say.
into I don't know how to.
Trying on personalities.
Yes. That's something that I really struggle with. But at the same time, like when I do become myself, somehow the world would not,
It will
So
not be easily moved.
yes,
I think it's your
so
way of healing, it's your way of growing. So
yes.
don't see it as a bad thing.
I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it as a good thing. I see it as I'm doing something. I see
Wisdom
it as
is being
yes.
drawn out of
Exactly.
you through these
Yes,
experiences.
exactly. Because I am blessed to have friends who are super intelligent. My best friends are super intelligent. They have a whole different way of thinking that if a person from outside sees them, they'll be like, what the F? Who are you to think that way? You're
Yeah.
weird. You are controversial.
Yeah.
I love having controversial people around me because it
It's
helps me
okay.
to become controversial too
Yeah.
in my own way.
We
But
can agree to disagree.
agree to disagree,
Yeah.
and I feel like I've become more placed in my own ideas, I've become more opinionated
Rooted.
about yes, and more rooted
Rooted.
in what I believe in because of that controversy thing.
Interesting.
It's hence why it's hard for me to make friends with everybody. I'm a very friendly person. I
You're
can
very
make friends.
special.
Thanks.
You are very special.
Thank you. Like I really do get along with everybody, but I don't really like to welcome everybody into my personal space, and I don't like to be in everybody's personal spaces too, because I don't think they can handle me and I don't think I can handle them. So that's why I keep my circle very
We'll
closed.
talk about this when we come from break.
Oh wow.
You've
This
touched
is a very long video.
deep. You have touched a very deep place. Trust me, I understand exactly where you are. I understand
I know
you
you're
so
very
much.
You're very
It took a journey. It took tears,
like,
lots of
I look
tears
up to
and
you.
loneliness,
It's,
lonely nights, lonely days. It took so much from me. That's why I'm happy to come here and share with us.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps from talking about it.
Yes.
Let's take a little break.
Okay.
Self-love comes from within. You cannot wait for people to validate you. This is where I was 2 decades ago. Hence I said, the work must be done. But the work will be done on condition you acknowledge that you need to work. If you carry on from your 20s, 30s until you're 70 in denial, people pleasing, getting upset, getting competitive with people who are not interested in your life, it's an everlasting disease. But thank God, I do not let my ego interrupt with my life. Ego is good. Some bit of it is okay. But the most challenge that many people face out there, it's living a life of very egoistic people cannot heal. And I hope you are not this kind of person. But I know you're gentle spirit. Yeah. So you are on the right path. You're on the right track. Visit yourself. Forget about people's opinions. I understood you said when you with people and you're taking some bits from them, you sometimes get lost with that.
Yeah.
It's okay, as you said. I loved what you said earlier also. Your soul will know.
Yeah.
The soul will sift everything that is for you, for your good, and it will sift all the drags, the rubbish that has to go. I'm talking to you also, our viewers. Be gentle with yourself. Self-love is key, and self-worth. Validate yourself. If you like, prayer, meditation, buying yourself some flowers, taking a journey to the garden by yourself, reconnecting with nature, breathing properly. It's not one thing or the other.
Yeah.
All this is part of who we are. So if we truly do these things, we will reconnect. We will definitely reconnect with our authentic self. I must say, when I started this channel, I did not know what I'm going to talk about. But here we are. We have amazing topics. Why? Because I have come back to myself. If I am not authentic, I'll be wanting this channel to be like such and such and such a person. But I'm sitting here very comfortable because I'm myself. I'm authentic. I'm sharing with you, with them, the things that I personally have passed through, my experiences. I don't need to be another person. I'm happy being Jacqueline. I love what Lisa Nicole says is, if you ask me to do another person, I will fail.
Yeah.
Terribly.
Yeah.
But if you ask me to be myself, I will do the best version of myself. In closing, we want to hear what Matuna can advise us on what she thinks, how she will take it from here in terms of reconnecting.
Well, advice to you guys and to myself. Thank you so much, by the
Thank
way,
you.
for your wise words. Like, I needed this, and you're so intelligent. You're so woke. You touched my soul, literally. I just like to say, life is very fun. It is fun. It's a roller coaster ride. The fluctuations of emotion, let it happen, accept it, and just have fun in the process. Feel like you're in a roller coaster ride. There are highs and there are lows. And in those highs, make sure you scream the loudest, you shout the loudest, and you shine the brightest, because that's why you're there in the first place. And when you're at your lowest, still scream the loudest, shout the loudest, and just be the best you can be each and every single day. And don't beat yourself up a lot about, your mistakes, because it will get you down even more. What else can I say? I don't know what else to say. It sounds better in my head, but I can't really speak it out loud.
So sweet.
But like, learn to love yourself. Learn to love people wholeheartedly, no
Yes.
matter what, no matter how people can affect you,
Most
still
definitely.
love them. Like, just spread love.
Yeah.
Spread love no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if it's a racist person, a
Yeah.
sexist person, spread love anyways. Kill them with kindness.
Kill them with
You know,
kindness.
there was something. Yeah, that's all I can say. But one thing that a friend of mine mentioned, he's like, as much as you have the power to dominate the world and create mass destruction, dominate the world and create mass love.
Such a
on
profound,
the same scale.
it's a profound statement.
Yeah, if you can hate hard, learn to love hard.
The same way.
So yeah, all the best and love yourselves, guys.
Isn't she amazing? Guys, I'm just gonna give that one an applause.
You need an applause.
Matuna, you are a wonderful, wise young woman. And I know that your healing will be perfected. All of us, we're going to get there because why? We are determined to get there.
Amen.
I love the love part of things because I'm such a lover girl.
Yes.
I love what Mama Maya Angelou said.
I don't know that.
Do you know this quote? It's beautiful. I've used it a lot. But
do you want me to look it up quickly?
Yeah. Be the rainbow in someone's cloud.
Perfect.
What it means is what Matuna just said. Being the rainbow in somebody's cloud, meaning just love. Let people know you to be lover girl. They say, this one and her love issues, Love, love, love. For love conquers all. Yes. Love conquers all. As she said, in a very authentic way. And people will resonate with you when you do so. And in closing, again, I like to say, let's keep growing. Let's keep shining. Let's keep grinding. Let's keep living. For life is for the living. Let's keep doing the work, Let's keeping on. Don't you dare give up on yourself. We love you so much. As Born for Victory, we'll speak to you soon. Don't forget those amazing donations. They really help us. And our t-shirt on Teespring, the link is below. And subscribe, you new viewers. All our old viewers, thank you again. We would not be here today if not of all your amazing support. We cherish you so much. Take good care of yourself. Have a lovely one. God bless. Namaste.
Namaste.